My name's Michelle Talbot, and I own We College Evergreen, Crandall and Hildegard. We would call community living to come in and to observe a child that we need help with so that the child could succeed in our centre.
Our mandate and our goal is to increase inclusion capacity in all early learning centers province-wide. And how we do that is by offering on-site consultations. We actually go in and visit, and we see that there's situations in real time. We observe and we see what, the situations are specifically to that center. We offer ideas and tools and strategies. We also offer ideas where they can turn to for support. We try to connect the families to what they may not know about that's available for support. But the whole point is to move inclusion forward.
The staff were at a loss. We tried to go through everything we're trained to do and everything that we could think of. And it was just trying to get some help onto how to explore it more, how to go in a different direction, because what we were doing would help for about maybe a day or 2, 3 days, and then it would stop. So we needed that extra help.
In a perfect world, when a center reaches out for support and they can get the support that they need, and they can hire the additional staff that the child needs to be successful, then everybody wins.
Having somebody from community living helped. It made sure that we were on the right track, that we were doing the best to our ability to help the child that we needed help with.
Inclusion in early learning centers is important because all children have the right to belong. All children have the right to learn in an environment where they're welcomed, where they're supported, where they're actively participating in a meaningful way with their peers. Every child deserves that. There's no parent I know that wouldn't want their child to have that experience.
Community living impacts our community by being a voice for parents as well as daycares. Parents realize once they call that they're not alone. They have somebody, they have the support, and they have the tools to succeed with their children.
All I just needed a chance to prove to myself and to other people that I can do everything that anyone else can. I just need the right steps to get there.
How big of an impact NBACL and this program can make, it strengthens your community, it gets people out there that wouldn't normally be out there, and it just makes a happier place for everybody.
People's lives are being changed because of these programs. First met community living when I was in high school. I started with them in grade 10 as a transition to work program. I started off with a class. It was like a class a week. We went over, just covered different topics between interviews and being prepared to go to work. And since then, I've moved out on my own. I've actually moved cities. I now live in Moncton. I started a new job at Kent Building Supplies. I also bought a car in there too, so that way I can get to work. When I graduated in 2013, I had done a path that I had done with community living, and the goals from there were, one of them was to get an ID, the other one was to open up a bank account, the other one was to learn how to take the bus. So not huge goals, but they were big then. There's been quite a few changes and quite a few challenges, but I've managed to be able to tackle all of them so far. Each time I've accomplished one of my goals, I always feel first is a sense of relief that I was able to do it, and then after that it comes the feeling of accomplishment, and then I get that much more confidence going on to the next challenges. I've learned that life will throw you challenges, and how you handle them is how you grow and learn. And it's quite scary to think about what would have happened if community living hadn't been there to give me the boost of confidence that I needed, because they came at the exact right time of when I needed them. They were there. it's not just helping out one person, it's helping out their family and their friends, and then community living is exactly that. It's community. So when you help one individual out, you're helping out an entire community, and then that makes the community that much stronger.
My name is Teresa Patterson, and I have 3 wonderful sons. My 2 older sons are in their 30s, and then I had my little surprise when I hit 40, and his name is Ted. And he is 13. He's nonverbal, and he has Down syndrome and autism. I found out about these parent weekends, retreat weekends. It was great to be on that retreat with other parents and talking about our children and their futures. I was going thinking that I was invited because of Ted. And of course, that makes sense because Ted has Down syndrome, and I met this wonderful mom who had a son with Asperger's syndrome. And it was like finding a sister. Because someone on the spectrum, especially diagnosed late, and Christian was born, in the 80s, and he was really aggressive and angry, and my life was absolute hell with trying to take care of Ted and waking up in the middle of the night, and Christian having such a hard time with that. The 2 of them in the house, and I was going down. I was going down. So I called and I said, my family's not okay, and I wasn't getting any help from the mental health system, but I'm so glad that NBACL was there, and we had a support person come in and talk to Christian and talk to me. Over a 2-year period, we were able to get Christian a place of his own, which was a challenge for him, and then we had a support person that would see him every week. I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't had the support from NBACL. I think I would be in the hospital. I think I would have had a breakdown because I wasn't sleeping, and I was brokenhearted and absolutely broken in spirit. Christian may not be here. He didn't want to be here. He didn't want to be here anymore. And I was at the point I didn't want to be here either. It wasn't a life. It wasn't a life that you wanted to live. But those components got taken care of, all the living and the groceries and the where to park your car and the paperwork and social development and social workers and mental health, and all those pieces started getting put back together, and it wasn't just me doing it, and it was Christian and other grown-up people that cared about him, and he let them in, and his life started to have a shape that he wanted to be. He wanted it to be. So I'm just so thankful. I'm so thankful every day. They saved my family. It was so personal. It was so personal to have a group of people that you could call, and they really cared, and they really showed up at my front door. It's great to know that if we hit a bump in the road, again, we're not alone.
Community living impacts our community by being a voice for parents as well as daycares.
It's quite scary to think about what would have happened if community living hadn't been there to give me the boost of confidence that I needed.
They saved my family.